Hey YouTube, how's it going? I am going to show you guys a real quick setup on how to set up a simple Kenyan Sand Boa enclosure. For this enclosure, it's going to be for a super teeny tiny Sand Boa. He's probably only about 5 inches right now. So he's going to be in a 5.5 gallon tank. This is a quarantine tank for him since I just picked him up. Plus, they can fit comfortably in like a 10 to 20 gallon as an adult. So this will last him quite a few months. For this enclosure specifically, I'm just going to do under tank heating. And that's because the ambient room temperature in this room is like 80 degrees. So I don't really need to get a really hot air temperature inside the tank with a over the tank heater. So pretty much this is everything that I'm going to use, and it's really simple. I just went to a local pet store and picked up a few supplies I needed. Everything you see here, including the actual Sand Boa, it comes out to right around 150 bucks to set up. So, and this is just a minimalist setup. You can go more extravagant, but don't put too much stuff in the tank because they have a tendency to burrow under stuff, and you would never want rocks or things to fall over and crush him when he goes underneath them. So for this setup, I already cleaned everything up. We bought a lid, 5.5 gallon tub. The lid was 8 bucks. Tub was 15 bucks. Bought this little Exoterra. This is some new stuff they came out with. It's a buffalo skull. Kind of reminded me of a water buffalo, even though it's probably American buffalo. This will work perfect for him. It's really light. It's some sort of resin. I wouldn't use it for bigger, heavier lizards, but it works perfect for him. And I went to my local pet store, bought one of their generic mini water bowls. It was like 6 bucks. This is probably one of the most expensive parts. Well, it was the most expensive other than the lizard. 20 bucks for an under tank heater. I always use the Zoom Ed. Use whatever thermostat you want to use. I follow these, and I use these most of the time without a thermostat, and they go right around 95 to 100 underneath my basking spot. I keep an eye on it. This guy, though, since he is a burrowing animal and will be directly on it, I would probably use it with a thermostat if you can. And then I just bought 10 pounds of sand. You can use sand, aspen bedding, paper towels, whatever you want. Think they have little like sawdust type pellets too. I don't know if those are safe, so don't quote me on them. I just see them in the reptile area all the time. I think a lot of people like them for bearded dragons for some reason. But that's everything here. Let me get to actually putting it together. Alright, so everything's already washed, like I said. So first I'm going to set up the heater. Now this heater I bought, I use this heater on all of my 10 gallons for my ball pythons and leopard geckos, things like that. But it's sized for a 1 to 5 gallon size terrarium. But I find it works perfect for my ball pythons. Gives them just enough space. Or actually, I might use a bigger one. I'm not sure. This does look a little smaller than usual. I feel like this is the one I normally use. But you can see it's pretty small. Came with a little bit of adhesive with instructions. Just pull it off and install accordingly. I always put it in one corner. And you can see now that covers about halfway up the 5 gallon and about halfway across. So that'll give him definitely a nice warm area, and then this is a cooling area too, if he so chooses. Sometimes, at least in my room, that I keep them all in, because I have a room I just keep reptiles in. Sometimes this room can get pretty hot if I don't actually turn the fan on, and so they do need areas to cool off. A lot of people don't realize that reptiles can't take really hot temperatures. You can cook your reptile if you're not careful. Okay, and then also with the Zoom Ed under tank heater, came with these little foot pieces. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's just hit or miss. I've had ones that won't stick. Looks like so far today these ones want to stick. Okay, after that, we're going to flip the tank back over. Then I'm going to add the sand. Now for the sand, you don't need too much in it, just enough for him to cover himself. But just depending on the actual enclosure will depend on how much of this bag you use. This one, like I said, was a 10-pound. You might just buy a 5-pound. You might need more. We'll see. Let me grab my knife. And I don't clean my substrate. The only substrate I actually do is like the Eco Earth and Cypress mulch I will freeze. Sand I usually don't. Let's see here. Now that's actually enough sand right there. You can see when I stick my hand in, it's not that much. I'm going to add a little more. The thing about sand too is sand tends to be cool. So if you put too much and he burrows, he's not going to be able to warm up depending on where he's sitting. So that's why a lot of people like to add top over tank bulbs as well. Alright, so that's good right there. And as you can see, we used about half the bag. You can save the rest for when you do a change. Now my heater's over here, so I'm going to put my water on the opposite end. And for this type of tank, I'm going to try and put my water as low as possible to prevent him from going in it, or going underneath it, I'm sorry. But he will eventually. There's no defeating that. Okay. So just like that. Easy enough. And then put my buffalo on the other corner. Okay, and that's it. You can do a lot more extravagant if you want. They had plants, like fake aloe vera plants, fake cactus and whatnot. You can add in if you want. Today I decided not to. I just wanted to do a basic setup and get the minimal stuff. When I upgrade him down the road, I'll put some plants and stuff in, but I think that would be too much right now. So let me show you the actual Sand Boa really quick, and we'll put him in his cage. Hello, buddy. Yep, hold on. He went underneath the cardboard in the box. Okay. This is the Sand Boa. Grab the camera. This is him. He's pretty cool. He's a little guy. I don't know if he's feeding on crickets or pinkies. They said one was feeding on crickets, one was on pinkies. So I'm just going to experiment and see. We'll see if he takes cricket or if he'll go for pinky. But they're pretty sweet. I like them. And they're supposed to be pretty calm. Like I said, he's only like 6 inches. So let me put him in here and we'll see what he does. Well, like his name, he goes straight for the sand. And it's pretty cool to watch. I actually wasn't planning on buying a snake today. I just went in to get some fresh mice, frozen mice. But then I saw him sticking his head out while I was there, which was kind of cool. And that's the only reason I got him. I was walking by and I saw this little head sticking out and I kind of wanted to know what it was. But there you have it. Sand Boa Setup for $150. Now, parts of it could be cheaper. Like me, if you already have a thermostat, you don't need to buy that. If you need to buy a thermostat, cheapest one I saw was about $50. I think Zoom Ed makes one, or Zilla, one of the two, for $50 that a lot of people like to use. But other than that, this is all you need. So hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good one. And I'll update you guys with a feeding video soon of him.